You know that the SAT test is coming in March. But independently of that, you know that it's important to understand what is in the test. Because if you don't know what is in the test, you cannot be ready for that test. In this video, we are going to study, or we are going to discover the four main domains in mathematics: algebra, advanced math, problem solving and data analysis, geometry and trigonometry. Those are the main domains of the test. And I'm going to show you questions from each of them. One from algebra, one from advanced math, one from problem solving and data analysis, one from geometry and trigonometry. This is the beginning of the video. Let's see how it goes. Let's start with the first domain, algebra. What is in the algebra domain? What are the topics that you will see in the SAT test? Linear equations in one variable, linear functions, linear equations in two variables, system of linear equations in two variables. I'm going to repeat again. In the algebra domain, we have linear equations in one variable, linear functions, linear equations in two variables, and system of two linear equations in two variables. This is the algebra domain and its topics in the SAT test. Of course, we have questions that are classified as easy, medium, and hard questions. So this is the algebra domain. Now I'm going to show you questions from this topic: linear equations in one variable, linear functions, linear equations in two variables, system of two linear equations in two variables. This is Dr. Marrero from Math Topics. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let's see the next step. This is an example of an easy question from the algebra domain from the linear equations in one variable. Just read, John paid a total of $165 for a microscope by making a down payment of $37 plus P monthly payments of $16 each. Which of the following equations represents the situation? If you know how the structure of the equation is, and if you know, for example, that the coefficient of the variable is the rate, and the rate here is the monthly payment of $16, you know that you don't have to worry about choice B or choice D. Why? Because the coefficients on those two answers are 37 and 37, and the monthly payment is clearly $16. This is knowing structural mathematics. What is the other point here? The down payment. It was a down payment of $37 against your debt. So your choices here are A, because the coefficient is 16, C, because the coefficient is 16. But what is the answer? Okay. If you pick A, for example, and you solve that equation, you're going to cancel the 37 negative by adding 37 to your debt. So you're not owing now 165. You're owing now 165 plus 37. But if you go to choice C and you cancel the 37, which is adding by the added inverse, negative 37, you're subtracting to your original debt your down payment of 37. That is exactly what happened the day of the purchase. This is easy algebra domain, linear equations in one variable, structural mathematics. Nice, eh? Another easy question from the algebra domain, linear equations in one variable. If x over 8 is equal 5, what is the value of 8 over x? Usually these questions are the one at the beginning of the test. And the student get the conception, or the misconception, that the test, it will be easy. But no, it's not like that. So the student know here that the answer, that you already have it, is to solve for x. X is equal 5 times 8, which is 40. And the second part is to come over here and substitute the x by 40. And then you can simplify this. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 40 divided by 8 is 5. The answer here is 1 over 5. That's the idea. Just to show you one easy question. It's just mastering each level. That's the best way to do it. Mastering each level, mastering each concept. And then start moving to the next level or the next domain or the next topic and the next category on the SAT test. Very easy, no? Another easy SAT questions, algebra domain, linear equations in one variable. The perimeter of an isosceles triangle is 83 inches. Each of the two congruent sides of the triangle has a length of 24 inches. What is the length in inches of the third side? Super simple. Middle school mathematics, even elementary. I think that a 5th grader or 6th grader can do this. So let's pick one triangle. Let's visualize this. I know when you're doing the test, you don't do it, but I recommend to sketch every time that you're working with geometry and the image is not given, or when you're practicing, it's important that you sketch. This is a strategy for mastering. So we have here 24 and 24. We don't know the third side, but we know that the perimeter here is just 83. But you know the concept of perimeter is the distance around. So the perimeter is no more than 24 times 2 plus that x, which is my answer. And all of that is equal 83. So I substitute the perimeter by 83. 24 times 2 is 48. 48 plus x. So the answer is solving that one-step equation. So 83 minus 48. So we grab a calculator here and we just subtract, 83 minus 48. And the answer is 35. So the third side is 35. I think this is enough to show you how the algebra domain easy category linear equation in one variable looks like in the SAT test 2024, the one that many students are going to take this month of March, or they will continue taking those tests throughout the year in order to be ready for college. So, very simple is this category and very simple is this level. Let's see what is next. Look at this question, the same domain, the same skill, but the level of difficulty increased. Okay, 2 bars out of 3. We have this equation with parentheses, variables on each side. They said if x is the solution to the equations above, what is the value of x minus 3? So we are forced to find the x. Your ability to do the equation fast will save your life. So you can multiply here 3 times 2, 6x, and 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Okay, minus 11. Equal 4 times x, 4x, and 4 times negative 3, negative 12, plus 6. I always inspect the question. This is my recommendation. If I can cancel those numbers in front of the parentheses, if they are multiples, and we can divide by 10. And this is a strategy that I always use. I inspect that, but I have no choices here. So I have 3 and 4. So right here is like terms, negative 18 and negative 11. You know, that is negative 29. Combining like terms. And right here is 4x and negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6. Okay, we have a classic equations with variables on each side. I want to eliminate one of the x's. I usually eliminate the lowest coefficient, so minus 4x, in order to turn this into a two-step equation. Okay, so 2x minus 29 equals negative 6. It's your ability, I said that before, it's your ability to solve the equation fast. So we add 29 to the both sides of the equation. We add 29. So let me use a calculator right here, just in case I'm going to. I have 6 negative plus 29, because 29 is subtracting, so you do the opposite. You do addition. So the answer is 23. Okay. And then we divide by 2. We divide by 2. So the x value is 23 divided by 2. That's not the answer. And look at that, they misled you with one of the choices. They said here that 23 over 2. Okay, but it's not the question. The question is x minus 3. So we have to, let me use a different color. I'm going to subtract over here 23 over 2, which is my x minus 3. The rest here is to solve this subtraction, no? Denominator 1, we can make a denominator 2. Very simple. We multiply this by 2. By 2, the top number. This is 6 over 2. 23 minus 6 is just 17. And the answer is 17 over 2. So x minus 3 is 17 over 2, which is B. One more grade of difficulty, because it's longer, required that you solve an equation, more complicated equation, more room to make mistakes, but it's not difficult. Some misleading situations, like when we finish finding the x 23 over 2, we notice that one of the choices is 23 over 2. So there are some obstacles in the middle of the process that can take you to the incorrect answer. Algebra domain, linear equations in one variable, level of difficulty 2 out of 3. Ready for algebra domain hard question? This is the one that you're seeing now. So this is the algebra domain, the linear equations in one variable topic or skill, and this is a hard question. How many solutions does the equation 10 times parenthesis 15x minus 9 equals negative 15 parenthesis 6 minus 10x half? Exactly 1, exactly 2, infinite many solutions, or 0 solution? You won't believe me that this question is an 8th grade question. It's not a high school question. Yeah, you can do it in Algebra 1, but in 8th grade curriculum, the students learned how many solutions one particular equation can have. Like many, only one, or no solutions. So right here, we have to solve the equation, or we have to start working with the equation, because there is no other way from that view that we can determine if they're going to have what type of solutions they are going to have. So let's pick the pen, and we're gonna start working with this. Let's manipulate this a little bit. So we have here 10 and 15. We have different approaches. We can divide by 5, okay, to make a smaller the entire expression. So I would do that. So let me divide here by 5, and let me divide here by 5 in order to have easy numbers. So I have 2 times 15x minus 9. Negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. 6 minus 10x. Okay. And now let's use a distributive property. I have here 30x, and I have here negative 18, and I have here negative 18, and 3 times negative 10, I have positive 30x. And look at what I have. Super simple now. Your left side, 30x minus 18, is exactly the same as your right side of the equation, negative 18 plus 30x. If you know the concept behind the number of solutions in a linear equation in one variable, that's it. If you know that the coefficients of the x are different, we are going to have one solution. If we know that we have everything the same, right and left, we know that we have infinite many solutions. So that's the answer. 8th grade math. This question is an 8th grade math. And look at what I did. It's optional, the division by 5. I just did it in order to work with easier numbers. But 30x minus 18, 30x minus 18. Same equal the same. Many solutions. No discussions about this hard question of the algebra domain. Eh? This is an example of advanced math, equivalent expressions, that's the skill, and a level of difficulty easy. So again, we are now working with the algebra domain. We are working now with the advanced math domain. And we are working with the topic or the skill equivalent expressions. And the category here is 1 out of 3. Easy. I don't want that you get bored with the video. And I will continue working with the SAT videos and preparations. And I promise that I will solving these questions separated by domain, separated by skills, and separated by the level of difficulty. 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and 3 out of 3. I just want to take the next minutes just to show you the different questions from the different domains. I spend time with the algebra domain today. So the next video I'm going to spend time with advanced math and so on. Look at this question. Which expression is equivalent to m to the 4, q to the 4, z to the negative 1 times m, q to the 5th, z to the 3rd power, where m, q, and z are positive. So this is property of exponents. So you know that when you have the property of exponents, you have the same base, you add exponents. So the m, let me grab my pen. So the m here will be 4 plus 1, because the exponent here is 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Q to the 4 and q to the 5 is q to the 9 power. You add exponents. And z to the negative 1 and z to the 3rd power is negative 1 plus 3, which is 2. 3 minus 1. So m to the 5th, q to the 9 power, z to the 2nd power. So m to the 5, q to the 9 power, z to the 2nd power. This is the answer. This is advanced math, equivalent expressions. Okay? Skill 1 out of 3. This is another domain. This is problem solving and data analysis. And the skill here is percentage. And the level of difficulty is 1 out of 3. Easy. You have a table of values, years, 1960, 1970, all the way to 2010, by 10 years. And you have the U.S. minimum wage, dollars per hour, $1 per hour, $1.60, and in 2010, $7.25. What was the percent increase of the minimum wage from 1960 to 1970? Believe it or not, 7th grade math. And then 8th grade math repeat this, the percent of change. Can be increasing or decreasing. But a 7th grader, when they finish 7th grade, they know how to do this. They know that they need to subtract the new minus the old divided by the original. And this is kind of a tricky formula that they use in class. So, but the purpose of the video here is to show you that many of the questions in the SAT, they belong to middle school. They are basic concepts, especially the one classified as easy or 1 out of 3. So when you're looking for 1 out of 3, you have to go back to your middle school years, and you will see all those skills right there in action, because they are very old. When you are a senior or when you are a junior in your high school, you cannot remember too much about those skills. You have those skills, but you don't remember the procedures. And those are the questions that you have to guarantee in the SAT. You need to guarantee those middle school questions in the SAT. So this is a homework. What is the percent increase between 1960 and 1970? 1960 was $1. In 1970 it was $1.60. I know increased it by 60 cents. But we are working with very nice numbers, 160, 3. So it's easy to get the answer. What is the answer? What do you think? Homework.